lovely day. This is TERRENTINO News, and the day and the times are relevant to our own individual lives. Let's just make sure our houses are in order and we're doing what we are supposed to do. There's monkey labor all over the place. Monkeys are doing the works of men. Monkey labor, and these people who are forcing the monkeys to do their jobs are being outed. But I will tell you about the monkey labor that has been spotted so far. These monkeys have been contributing to canned food makers. And if we have made it to a certain point, we already know in this bounty in which we live right now, we don't buy canned foods. So some canned foods may have been produced through disrespecting and demeaning and mistreating monkeys, but we don't eat canned foods. Now, maybe there will be a time where we need the storage of all those canned foods packaged in all those preservatives and stuffed with sodium and all these things. But in the bounty in which we are experiencing right now, there is no need for canned foods. There's enough fresh produce and fresh foods to go around to where we really don't need canned foods. And then after fresh foods, we have frozen foods, another healthier choice than canned food. Like the young man that got his foot cut off told me, don't let that worry you. Don't let that worry you. The monkeys, we'll throw some shout outs to the monkeys. Don't chain those monkeys. Don't shackle those monkeys. Don't have them up there picking those coconuts. We feel for the monkeys. But our dollars, respect our dollars. Our dollars don't go towards canned foods. And we have to live and learn. We have to know who we are. I've been called the cosmic commander. And from what I saw, I've been missing a little equipment. Anthony Anderson helped me find some of my proper equipment with the BioVYZR. And that's all one word, B-I-O, capital V, capital Y, capital Z, capital R. If you're one of these people that are hanging on by the thread at your job, I guarantee you, if you buy a BioVYZR, you purchase a BioVYZR, if you wear a BioVYZR to work and you say, I feel safe with my BioVYZR, I'm sure that they will give you paid leave very quickly. So if you have $400 to invest, if you get another stimulus check, or if you haven't blown your last one, and you're really trying to think of something ingenious to where you can stay paid, hook yourself up to the money IV so that you can stay paid without participating all the way in what the world has to offer. Procure yourself a BioVYZR. The BioVYZR is real. You'll be looking like Matt Damon in the movie where he was the only human on Mars. I think the movie might be called The Martian, but the BioVYZR, it has its own atmospheric pressure. It's a great invention. And I will tell you the truth. When Anthony Anderson unveiled that he was supporting the BioVYZR, people immediately attempted to shoot it down. Started trying to tell him he just needs to get the vaccine. And he was like, no, the BioVYZR is here to stay. And he said, no, we guarantee this is the last time you're going to wear it. I'm telling you, fear, BioVYZR, fear that when people start taking these reports literally, you may die. Or African Americans are 3 to 4 times more likely to die from coronavirus. If you start taking these reports seriously, you say, well, I may pass away, but I'll do my best. I'll be getting a BioVYZR, especially if you are employed, if you're a circulatory member of society, you know, a cog, somebody's depending on you to show up. Start showing up in that BioVYZR and see if you don't start getting treated a little bit better. So be mindful, because we're fully adopting the Mamba mentality. Out of respect to Vanessa, we won't mention a lot of the dates and things of that nature. But it's time to fully adopt the Mamba mentality. The way you feel, start living according to the way you feel all the way. Don't sell yourself short any longer. You had enough time to reflect on life, what you would like out of it. So now it's time to adopt that Mamba mentality and give life all that you have. Keep track of when you sleep, what you eat, what do you do with your time? The Mamba mentality. Everything, every action is accounted for. Every word is accounted for. Every thought is accounted for. Because you have embraced the Mamba mentality. You are purpose-driven and goal-oriented. And you are allergic to getting off task. Taskmaster is your middle name when you fully adopt the Mamba mentality. And I saw it in Anthony Anderson when he strutted out there on that stage with that BioVYZR on. They had no idea that he adopted the Mamba mentality, and no matter how much they wanted to laugh at him for coming out there in that helmet of a spacesuit that he had on, he said, nah, too many people have died. Too many warnings have been issued. I'm wearing my BioVYZR. I just want to make it home to see my kids without bringing the coronavirus, COVID-19, or any of its variants back to my family. So get serious about the Mamba mentality. What would you like out of this world? And then pursue it with all that you have every day, not hinging your success on the actions of others, but being more self-reliant, self-sufficient, and self-determined. Invest in longevity. We know Kobe, and we know things have happened, but we know that he was built to last because he had already converted to another profession. He was already highly successful in his profession, and that was a profession that he would have lasted longer than a golf pro. You know, you could probably golf until sometimes you see these old golfers out there still golfing, you know, until they die. So Kobe had gotten into the film industry, and he was primed to make that a career. He had already yielded great fruits from that. So invest in longevity. Invest in things that you know that you could be doing for a while. Invest in your talents, because basketball was his talent at an early age, and he got the most out of his talent while he could perform that talent. But then as an adult, and he transitioned into picking his own lot, he invested in something that could last forever. There's not many restrictions where a human says, oh, I'm too old to do that anymore. You can act while laying down. You can act while sitting down. It doesn't take very much. So invest in longevity. I remember when Prince Charles and Princess Diana were married, and Prince Charles was trying to get Princess Diana to understand that they really don't argue. And she was trying to say, yes, we do argue. And he was saying, well, if you look at it like I'm looking at it in terms of this dynasty has been lasting for a long time, and this House of Windsor has been established. And we're not even established there because my mom is actually the queen, and other family members have been the king and the queen before her. And we haven't even stepped into power yet. So actually, you may think we're fussing and arguing, but it's really nothing because we don't even have the power yet. And he said, well, he's like, I just look at it in a longer sense than you do. And she says, well, you may go longer, but I go quicker. And that's enough for us to understand how the rest of the story played out. sometimes we have to take a look, take a step back. And the quickness or the speed in which we want things done is not the way the universe has ordered it, especially in the roles that we may play. If you're a YouTube sensation, you may can have some things quick. But if you're a part of some ancient order, then you got to understand the wheels turn a little slower in ancient orders. So, I know a lot of times we want the system to be turned over on its head, but the system wasn't established in the twinkling of an eye. And it won't be turned over on its head in the twinkling of an eye. Not for everyone. You can get fed up right now, and you can change in the twinkling of an eye. But for everyone to see what you've been shown, it's going to take a little bit more deliberate effort. So invest in longevity. Now, one thing I will tell you, in this world, this gynarchy that we living in, you can be whatever you would like to be. There are not very many restrictions in the gynarchy because women are reaching heights that they would like to reach. I won't say new heights because women have been in charge for a long time. But, they're reaching heights that they would like to reach. So places where we would customarily see women, we may not see them anymore. So it opens up opportunities for people to be whatever they would like to be. I rarely am available at 10 a.m. or mid-morning, but I was yesterday. And I found myself watching what used to be one of my favorite shows. I don't very much like it anymore because the crowds have been scrapped due to COVID-19 restrictions. So the show doesn't have the flair that it once did. And that show is the great Price is Right. Nothing like going home a winner. And then you could be on the Price is Right and you can go home a two-time winner. First half of the show, you could win what you're being offered. Actually, you can go home a three-time winner. Because then after you win your prize from playing your game, then you can spin the big wheel over three other contestants that have also gotten to play a game. Then you can bid on the showcase. So this is a show where you can become a three-time winner. And it's all rowdy. It's a beautiful environment. But Price is Right I saw yesterday. I remember watching Price is Right. And I remember growing up like, man, that's a very attractive lady on Price is Right. Look how she's holding those oven mittens. Look how she's pointing toward that new car. Look how she's sitting on that new love seat. Man, those are some attractive ladies. I might be behind on the ball, but hey, I noticed it yesterday that they had men or a man modeling, displaying different products on the Price is Right. So this is a time where you can be whatever you would like to be. If you would like to be an activist, Joe Biden is signing executive orders every day. We talked about it not too long ago about getting you a program book, finding what program you can impact, finding what program you can implement in your community. You may not want to be a part of a workforce where people are subject to catching coronavirus at any time because of corners being cut and, to bring in money. Certain restrictions are not being observed because we still have to secure that almighty bottom dollar. But Joe Biden, President Biden, number 46, he's signing executive orders every day. If you were just to look in your program book, what has he been signing off on? What is he saying that he needs? The world is basically standing still for you right now. They have paycheck protection programs. They have programs where you can't be kicked out on the street because you can't pay your bills. So in that type of time, the world is standing still. Take a little time, Look at the program book. And if you need help, send your questions, comments, and concerns to New York City. We'll be on Malcolm X Boulevard right there in Brooklyn. If you have any pictures or videos or captions you'd like to share with us, send them to LA. It's the place to be. This is Tarantino News. Big shout out to the producer, OG. OG, he's always here making the job easier than what it really is. He holds it down. First guy in the building, last guy to leave. That's why we call him a great finisher. OG. OG the producer. And it is a lovely day. We won't be stopped. Feeling a little bit like Diddy this morning. And speaking of Diddy, it reminds me of a song.
Turn me up a little bit.
Yeah, kid. All I'm on the rise.
Yeah. Turn me up a little bit more.
We like it. Yeah, kid.
I like that.
All I'm on the rise.
This is the remix.
And you don't want to follow
98.
with this guy.
Let's go.
I've been around. I've been around the world. I've been around. I've been around the world. I've been around.
We ain't gonna stop.
Been around the world. I've been.
We don't even know how to stop.
I've been around the world.
Yo, now trick what they shoot. That ain't what Mace do. Got a lot of girls that'll love to replace you. Tell it to your face, boo, not behind your back. Cash talk slick, we never mind that. Funny, never find that. Puff dime sacks, right? Hot stuff that make people say rewind that. People know you go against the Harlem Gigolo. Get liquor low, make the girl trick your dough. I represent honeys with money, fly guys and gents. Ride with the tents, that be 35%. So I lay, so I look both ways. Cop says okay, my tent smoke gray, no way. People leave without handing me my chips. Got plans to get my land and my six. People out of town don't understand these hits. Pop champagne like I wanna.